Today is the 7th of October, 2024. Coming up on today's Global Intelligence Agency Operations Report. 722 banks around the world report unrealized losses of over 50% of their capital on Sunday. And the Secret Space Force, global headquarters, and military generals from around the world go on a fact-finding mission with a little help from us. And how does this tie to Elon Musk's urgent flight to meet with Trump operatives on Saturday night? And China's deep state tried to stage a fake alien invasion on Sunday night. Apparently, they intended to use the Middle East as a testing ground before they launched a worldwide fake attack. It's the 7th of October, 2024, and this is the Global Intelligence Agency Operations Report, where you get the real story behind world events in real history from the highest security clearance in the world. Well, let's get started. It's been quite a weekend, I'll tell you, around the world. A little bit crazy, for sure. Okay, so let's talk about what was going on with the banks this weekend. So firstly, as we've been discussing, the Omega AI has been dissipating rapidly. And the Omega AI was kind of the base route for all intelligence agencies, militaries, the financial system, telecommunications, internet, and much more. So it basically ran all electronics on planet Earth at one point in time. And the alpha was kind of behind it. So as that dissipates, the numbers on the screen don't quite look the same. But the reason why this report was requested, and it was requested by the UN Security Council, they were tasked with collecting all this data, was because the deep state wanted to know how much money is it going to take to run the world. Remember, they can't stop with world domination now, can they? Anyway, in their quest for world domination, they found out that it's much worse than they had thought. Originally, they were seeing some off-ledger funds, that kind of thing, on back screens, but it wasn't actually real money. It had no allocation numbers. I know that they were trading, and there was a bunch of other stuff that they could see. So by this weekend, when the UN Security Council was tasked to looking into this, all those numbers disappeared. So what did they see? About 50% less in all banks than they actually thought as far as their capital was concerned. And of course, the capital of every single bank in the world is tied to the Federal Reserve. So when those numbers disappeared, a lot of the numbers that the Fed was counting on also disappeared. Leaving the deep state kind of scratching their head as to what they're going to do next. Well, there's always something to do next, isn't there? Okay, now the other problem that they're having is, although the governments have not officially come back, or the U.S. government anyway, has not officially come back to Washington, D.C., they're still in communication with a lot of the politicians, and there's a lot of heavy political pressure on both sides of the aisle, so both on the Republican side and on the Democratic side, to perform. And what I mean by perform is, there, you know, as I had said in the news today, there is a lot of controversy going on around this Hurricane Helene and the devastation, and there is a lot of talk about why there's no money for this. And politicians are getting phone calls left and right expecting donations, and they have nothing to donate. So this is putting pressure on the global deep state because they believe all the money comes from those people. And of course, it's another day ending in Y where they'll get this money and then everything will be okay. But no, it's really not. So now what happens? There's no funding for the mining of this special metamaterial, which is not from Earth, actually. Over the weekend, when it was discovered, it is also no longer there. It is a special component. So we're talking about Hurricane Helene now still, because we're still in that region. This special metamaterial, as I call it, they were trying to use that to create time travel technologies and other things that they have been failing to do successfully.